Welcome to The Snack, a lighter serving of Girls Gotta Eat.
This is a Dear Media production.
Enjoy.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back. Oh, it's a snack, I guess.
Last
Welcome back
day
to
of
The
July. What a month.
Was it a good month for you?
Was it a good month for you?
I'm having my summer spiral. I'm really crashing out. I do this every end of July. I'm just like, no one's around. My dad's like, Rainey, you've been home for 4 days. Relax.
Yeah, seriously, just chill.
I'm walking around like no one's around. I have nothing to do. I have no one and nobody. Ashley's my only friend, but it is my summer crash out. Do you remember last July?
That's how I planned it. So you're codependent on me. I made everyone move away.
I made her. Remember when I used to complain that we never spent solo time together? Like no solo hangs. Now only solo hangs.
We have no friends anymore. No, it's fine. People are traveling. People have moved back to the East Coast. Didn't see it coming, but
yeah, it's my summer crush out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope you guys had a good July.
Well, the last day of July, July 31st today
Big
is
day.
National Orgasm Day.
Yes.
So we encourage you guys to have an orgasm today. It has so many benefits. It helps for stress reduction, sleep. It floods your brain with all kinds of different fun chemicals like dopamine and serotonin and oxytocin and like all the good stuff. But to celebrate, we are doing our biggest sale of the year at Vibes Only, our luxury, beautiful sexual wellness business. It is 20% off the entire site. Go, girl.
Look at us go.
So
20% off everything.
So you don't have to listen to the rest of this. You can just go to vibesonly.com. But if you've never owned a vibrator, we have tons of great starter vibrators like the Poppy, which you're holding. So if you've never masturbated before and you're like, how do I get involved? How do I get involved in the masturbation world?
We think most of you have, but we do have something for everyone. So I'm holding the Poppy right now if you guys are watching. And we are just obsessed with this. And it has a finger grip so you never lose your grip. We really designed this like top to bottom. It's a gorgeous color and you're just gonna be able to hold it really easily. And of course we have the Ashley Max, which is our biggest and most powerful vibrator. And that's your big wand, your XL wand.
Maybe you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Maybe you're lazy like me
around.
and you don't want to reach around. A huge wand. We have air pulse vibrators. We have stuff that is great for couples. So we have cock rings. We have an adjustable cock ring called the Bond Band.
Bond Band. That is what I have been. And I mean, I am the one that really pushed for the Bond Band. And we really made it special. But like the first time I ever tested it, I was like, this is such a game changer. It is the best couples toy and it's adjustable for one size fits all penises.
Yes.
And that's going to stimulate you as well. A lot of people are like, what's a cock ring or a cock tie for? And it's for both parties, but it's going to stimulate you, your clitoris, while also giving him those pleasurable sensations as well. Yes. And our lube, second to none. We have a water-based lubricant called Juiced Up. We have Suck and Blow Gel, which is an oral enhancer, penis and vulva friendly in an array of flavors. And so get into it. Everything on sale, vibesonly.com today only.
Yes, biggest sale of the year that we do 20% off and it'll be automatically applied. So no code, just get in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's thank our partners. Thanks to Revolve. Get 15% off your first order at revolve.com/GGE with code GGE and Shopify. Go to shopify.com/GGE and start building your brand today.
And thank you to Tonal. Get $200 off your purchase at tonal.com with code GGE. And Cakes Body. Get 20% off your first order at cakesbody.com with code GGE. Okay, so we are going to kick it off with a Heroes We Didn't Know We Needed report.
Oh, I like that.
We were trying to figure out what to call this report because you rarely see Gwyneth Paltrow in South Park in the same report. So these are the heroes we didn't know we needed.
So the story that obviously took the world by storm, the Coldplay CEO.
Mm-hmm.
So Astronomer, which is the company he was the CEO of, has gotten all of this media attention. And so they decided to capitalize on this and hire a spokesperson. And that spokesperson is Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow starred in an ad for Astronomer at the center of the Coldplay concert scandal. The headline says Gwyneth Paltrow helps turn Astronomer's infamy on its head. So she did this minute and a half ad.
So she opens up the commercial. I've been hired on a very temporary basis to speak on behalf of 300 plus employees at Astronomer, which was not on my bingo card.
Yeah.
And then goes on to say all this stuff.
Yes. And she's like, I'm going to take some questions. And the first question is like, I'm sorry, but what the fuck? And she just answers something completely different. She gives some information about the company you probably didn't know before. She's like, we actually do use workflow. I was laughing out loud.
It's a really, really smart marketing move. It is so iconic. She's Chris Martin's ex-wife, which is why she's involved in this. You don't know that. She was married to the lead singer.
Oh, did we even say that? Yeah. Yes.
But
they consciously uncoupled. I wish she would have referenced the conscious uncoupling. So when her and Chris Martin got divorced, she used this term that blew up. And obviously, we probably have an uncoupling happening after the scandal.
Several uncouplings.
So a few things about it. It's estimated she was paid in the millions. I'm sure people are like, what did she get paid?
Yeah.
No one knows for sure. But I think there was like a biographer of hers that estimated based on what she's been paid in the past. And it's Ryan Reynolds' production company called Maximum Effort. So Ryan Reynolds has this production company and they do kind of this like clever advertising.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Ryan Reynolds took this like worldwide cultural scandal and turned this company into a household name with honestly people viewing it pretty favorably and like can't seem to do that with his own wife.
Like she dug her own grave.
But has Ryan Reynolds used his production expertise for his wife? I'm assuming. I mean, I feel like we constantly see Blake Lively and they are trying to make her be funny and witty. Like we've seen a lot of this. Like, has he been behind it? Like, I kind of forgot he had a production company and this is what they do.
Well, every time Blake Lively tries to be funny, quote, and I say funny in quotes, it backfires and she sounds mean and snarky. And maybe he's like, leave the comedy to me.
Yeah.
And maybe he's like, you're too far gone. Let's just go away for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to go down this road again today with Blake and Justin, and our opinions have changed and shifted over time and receiving new information. But overall, the public perception on her has not gotten any better.
No.
And I think people were like, this company, the CEO's a cheater and he's cheating with HR. Like, I found it all... Yeah, that sucks, but I found it all just funny and light. And like, I wasn't like out for blood with Astronomer. Like, but now people think the company is like, it's you know it and you're thinking of it. It's like, oh, it's so funny and cool.
I mean, I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant to capitalize on this moment. Who had ever heard of this company? And you're getting like one of the biggest celebrities on planet Earth who, by the way, is not known for, listen, she's known for a lot of stuff. Humor is not one of them. Mm-hmm. I didn't expect to see her in this. And just to like take this a little further, Andy Byron, who's the former CEO, who's caught on the cam, is allegedly going to be suing Coldplay for invasion of privacy. And to my point last week, I think that if you parade your affair around 70,000 people, you have less of a leg to stand on for privacy. You know what it reminds me of is those people that were filming other people on planes. Remember some like people in seats behind someone would film text messages of the person in front of them. That is an invasion of privacy.
Yes.
Being caught on a Jumbotron.
If you're on a Jumbotron, sorry.
That's not an invasion of privacy. Why'd you go there?
Exactly. Right. I think when you walk into like any sort of live performance, they're like, hey, you might be filmed. Like,
right.
They let you know. Okay, so the second player, which we already spoiled, but in the heroes we didn't know we needed, would be Trey Parker and Matt Stone, creators of South Park, which is in its 27th season.
Oh, it's the longest run.
And they opened that season with a bang.
I feel like ever since, I mean, this is not imagined. Ever since this has happened with CBS and Stephen Colbert and South Park, Trey Parker, Matt Stone, I mean, people are just taunting the administration to like.
Yeah, we talked about last week. So CBS, Paramount canceled The Late Show with Stephen Colbert for quote unquote financial reasons, but paid $1.5 billion for South Park, which South Park is sort of on the, I don't even want to say decline. It's not as popular. It's 27 seasons in. Like that's just the nature of what it is. But they paid that and then they came out guns blazing and their premiere of that episode just dragged Donald Trump the whole time, which we'll get into. But the South Park since has seen a 258% jump in streaming popularity following the infamous episode that took aim at Donald Trump.
So he is running around with a micro penis.
So
basically.
Did you read about the small penis rule?
What's a small penis?
Oh my God. Okay. So yes, there's a ton of stuff. There's Satan. There's, obviously people in the community and it's all bad in the best way. But the main thing is he has this tiny little penis. So there is a legal strategy known as the small penis rule, wherein an author who writes a character based on a real person can potentially evade a libel suit by giving said character a small penis.
What?
Listen, the logic being that in order to sue, a plaintiff would have to tacitly admit that the description of his manhood is accurate. So this rule technically does not apply to the latest episode of South Park, because they made no effort to anonymize Donald Trump. It was him. But one wonders if the logic of embarrassment still holds. Trump is portrayed as a deeply insecure leader who literally gets into bed with Satan, his apparent lover, yada, yada. So anyway, they just say if the actual Trump were to retaliate, as he so often does, he'd be playing directly into Parker and Stone's hands. I am dead over the penis rule. So basically
it's saying like Parker and Stone are holding space for them saying like, it's so small, it's clearly a parody. And so for him to like sue them, he has to admit that it actually is that small.
I think they're saying like this man has the smallest penis on the planet, and if he wants to sue us, he has to admit that he has the smallest penis on the planet. Okay. So the White House freaked out. Their statements were so funny.
They're usually so chill about stuff.
They shat all over South Park. This show is like, it's irrelevant. But the line that made me laugh out loud: President Trump has delivered on more promises in just 6 months than any other president in our country's history, and no fourth-rate show can derail President Trump's hot streak.
Hot streak of just hot
like he's
garbage,
a baseball
burning
player.
Stuff to the ground.
Hot streak. Hot streak. This is a president we're talking about.
They just be saying stuff. Seriously, I don't think there's any strategy. I just think they wake up and they throw some stuff at the wall and they're like, how ridiculous can we be? So you love to see that in your president.
Hot streak. So Trey Parker, South Park co-creator, he did address this on stage at San Diego's Comic-Con at this panel like last week. And it says, in true South Park fashion, he simply said, "We're terribly sorry," followed by a long deadpan comic stare. "We're so sorry."
That is comedy.
Portrayed the president so accurately. South Park is wild, and I'm not claiming to be a longtime fan. I've seen plenty of episodes, and I respect what they do. It's so unhinged. That episode ran. I couldn't believe what I was watching.
Honestly, I believe in obviously freedom of the press, freedom of expression, freedom of everything. I mean, that's the president of the United States, and he's running around with like a micro penis, and they're like, we don't care.
He's done so much damage and harm. Like, I love that they did that, and I love that they did it on the heels of Colbert being canceled. It's just... anyway, so that's your heroes we didn't know we needed report.
I love it. And honestly, I mean, I said it about Stephen Colbert before, and I'll say this about South Park. I think that they will see a rise in viewership like they've never had before. What could spike it more?
Yeah, and then I was seeing mixed things. Like, did it get taken off of Paramount Plus?
Okay.
And I'm unsure today as it stands. I'm assuming it's still up. I don't know if that was like a rumor. But people were saying, don't sign up for this because what this company has done, but you could sign up for the free trial. And then when you cancel, tell them we're canceling because you support a fascist regime, but we watched South Park and Colbert while we were here. I don't know. I just saw that tweet. Okay.
The app that has swept the nation this month. The T app. So this has been around since 2023 and had an explosion this month. So this app, this app was built for women to essentially make these like Yelp style profiles of men that they dated to essentially like warn other women of like a large range of things. Everything from being cheap on a date or insulting all the way through.
And you I didn't get in the app, but I watched a few TikToks because I wanted to see footage from inside the app. And you do like red flag. It's anonymous. And you do like red flags. So a guy will rack up like a bunch of red flags. I saw a few guys being like, "Oh, look at me go."
Yes,
like
red flags.
They're in the app.
Safety tips to spread them, which I love. But in 2025 this month, it really caught on TikTok and Reddit and like really swept the App Store. And because there was a 525% jump in app subscriptions, it shot to the number one app.
Yeah, it was number one in the App Store. Yeah. And then it got hacked. So it said there prior to the data breach, again, it had soared to the top of the App Store. It had over 4 million, close to 5 million women using it. And it was a huge data breach. People were saying it was worse than originally thought. And I guess people had to verify their identities with selfies or their license or both. Mm-hmm. But I will say, I just wanted more tea on the T app, and then the T became the data breach. So even when I'm trying to find information, all it is about the data breach. I'm like, I want more tea on the app.
So I think that the only thing that was breached were 72,000 user images were leaked. So 13,000 selfies, 59,000 posts, comments. So there were posts and comments going back 2 years.
But then it got pretty dark. I think people were trying to dox those women with their photo. I mean, I don't know all of what was hearsay and what really happened. But I mean, there's kind of a dark layer of this, of like, of course, this app of women trying to warn each other and keep each other safe got hacked. And then in turn, the women were in danger. But I was curious your thoughts on the app in general. Like, I feel like the girlies were doing just fine in their local Facebook groups. like, are we dating the same guy? Like, I guess I just feel like this was destined to be bad in some way. Like, it would be really, really messy, and like lawsuits would maybe happen, and like, of course, men would lash out. And I don't care if men are upset, but it could be dangerous. And I don't know. I had this thought of just, I'm all for this. I'm all for women warning each other and keeping each other safe, like I said. But I'm also like, what happened to like our intuition and stalking people online and like doing this the old school way and like picking up on red flags? Like, I don't know. It feels like an easy way out.
I find it really helpful, but it's hard to control it. Like,
and know what's real.
How could you control it, know it's real? And there's plenty of people that are going to put stuff that's not true, or
not the full story.
Right.
Like, not that people are going in there and lying, which they will just inevitably, but also just like not the full story.
Like, I wouldn't want somebody writing something like this about me unchecked, and I'm not there to verify it. And I think that women are less safe than men. I think there needs to be more tools for women to 100%. Protect themselves against men than men from women. But this is it's totally uncheckable. Like there aren't checks and balances with this. Mm-hmm. So of course it shot to popularity 1 week, and 2 days later gets hacked. I mean, I think that like even with the best intentions, something like this is going to be hacked.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not opposed to the concept, but I'm just like, I felt like this was going to go poorly. But you know, the other thing I couldn't think of, like knowing that people had to verify themselves with a photo and information. And that is all I've wanted from Instagram forever. Like, Instagram is just this breeding ground of bullying and troll accounts, like just doing the most. And if people could just identify themselves in order to have an account, like you don't even need a separate email to set up like a troll bully account. People say the meanest things. People kill themselves over getting bullied on Instagram. And like, it's so possible that the T app could do it. And that's all I've ever thought. Like, if people just had to submit information to verify themselves on Instagram, so they couldn't just with the click of a button create these dummy accounts and just bully other people. Like, that's the thing that was like my first thought was, it's like all I've ever wanted. Even just have another email address, just one layer. Like, they've never done anything to protect us in that way.
Well,
and that's a different conversation, but it pissed me off.
Anything that's anonymous like this is going to be a breeding ground for bad behavior. I mean, Reddit is the most vile place on the internet. You don't need a real face. It's just an avatar.
But I'm saying these people, they had to verify themselves to get on this app. I saw people saying like, I got accepted into it. Like, there's a little bit of friction to get into it.
So you're saying that's good?
Yes.
Like that. Yeah,
I'm saying I wish Instagram verified people's identity. And I've seen think pieces on this, and people talk about like they could easily do it. They could easily have a separate email address to create an account. You can create an account in seconds, and it's
I didn't think about that.
Gross to me. And yes, you can block someone and all of their accounts, which is a nice feature in recent years. So yeah, I don't know where the T app stands now. Are we out on it? I don't think people feel safe.
So they said, everything's fine. None of your actual data leaked.
Okay.
But just your selfies. But I mean, that's a huge blow for an app that is, unfortunately, it's supposed to protect women and it's supposed to make you feel safe.
Yeah.
And like, unfortunately, the data was breached. So now you feel like you're at risk if you're on it.
Yeah. We had an app, this was so many years ago, 10 years ago now at this point, maybe even more, called Lulu. I think it's now defunct, but it was a dating app where women could anonymously rate men. Users could check out existing ratings, rate men themselves, answer multiple choice questions about them, and add positive or negative hashtags. And I don't know, something back in those days, it felt so lighthearted. Like, guys were like, am I in Lulu? Like, can you leave me a good review? I don't know. It's like people weren't going on. I was on it for a while. We weren't going on there to speak so negatively. I don't know. It's just, it's bad out here.
It's just, I also think it's kind of unfair. And I am thinking about like, if this happened to me, like one person could have a bad date with me and another person could have the same date and really enjoy it. And like, I'm just thinking about this one date I went on and he really shared a lot about his mental health and therapy and his ex. And I think some women would have really enjoyed like that level of depth from a person on a second date. For me, I felt a little uncomfortable. I felt like it was a little too much, but like I could write a very different review of that guy than somebody else. And he's not some toxic person. Other people would enjoy him. So it's like, where's the line? If you're writing that somebody's like crazy or too much, it's like, that's your interpretation of that person.
Yeah. And this isn't like in defense of men. It's just like, if you use any of these, if the Facebook groups we've talked about before, or this app or whatever it may be, just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
You know? So people are saying Pedro Pascal, a little handsy.
It is the wildest press tour I've ever seen. So Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby, they're on a press tour for their new movie, The Fantastic Four.
So I am not willing to disparage Pedro Pascal at this time.
Yeah, we don't know.
Like I was seeing things of just, he is very touchy. I guess he's come out and said that I have anxiety, so I need to grab onto somebody, which I don't love it. Maybe that was taken out of context, but he does touch his male co-stars too. I saw this tweet, and we'll put up on the screen. It says, in quotes, Pedro Pascal doesn't touch other men like that. Every time he's with Oscar Isaac, they look like an old married couple. So he's not, I don't find him to be some creepy guy. Like, you know, I think that him and Vanessa Kirby have agreed to act like this. She is stroking him in interviews too.
Sure. I hold space for women to come forward and say I was forced to act a certain way or I was uncomfortable. No. Ashley and I like believe women, of course, but like all of the photos and videos, first of all, she's pregnant and she's engaged. So she is with somebody else and all of the footage is him touching her belly, but she's also rubbing his neck.
She's stroking him. Yeah. Like, what is her partner thinking? But also people are open and they're fluid and like, it feels all consensual to me. I will turn on him in a second. I don't care. Like, it's not that. He's not Beyonce. You know, but I'm just saying, like, it's just at this time, I'm not canceling him. But I want to tell people that actors are weird. And they're going to act weird. And I'm sorry that you guys thought Pedro Pascal was not one of them. And I still think he has a great moral character and he's a good guy. And I'm still a fan today. But actors are fucking weird, and I'm sorry. Not all of them, but like a lot of them.
I mean, if she's okay with it, that's up to her. There's photos of them touching noses. I mean, they might as well be butterfly kissing. If that's what they want to do, I mean, it is drumming up a lot of press for the film. Yeah. Obviously, Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell, they invented this shit of being all over each other.
No, Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga.
All over each other.
For A Star Is Born. Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly something to talk about.
Yeah, so, but there's more to, I mean, people have kind of run the tape and he is touchy, but who's to say what is going down? And appears to be like that with men too. And no, I don't like that someone's like, I'm sorry, I'm just anxious. I have to grab you when I'm feeling that way. That's not.
I got to rub your belly and we have to touch noses.
But I don't really know what's going on. But anyway.
But I do like to hang all over people. Like that would be me, like rubbing somebody's neck in an interview.
No, like the interview, I think one of the more shocking ones was her touching on him.
That's what I'm saying. Rubbing his neck, that would be me. I would be like, oh, are you anxious? I'll touch you. I'll sit in your lap. And honestly, the only real victim here is her partner. And if he doesn't care.
The only real victim here.
That guy looks like a real bitch.
So anyway, that's the Pedro. This is a developing story.
Listen, like as Ashley said, we'll turn on him in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
We'll turn on anybody in a heartbeat. Honestly, try us.
Okay, so let's just talk about our partners, and then we will get into it with Sheana.
Okay, Revolve.
I'm
head to toe Revolve today.
Are you?
My t-shirt is Revolve. My jeans, Cotton Citizen, Teeks flip-flops, and Cendre, C-E-N-D-R-E, Cendre.
Not the watch.
Silver watch.
Everything.
I mean, really, Revolve is like my one-stop shop for no matter what I'm doing. So like summer travel, it has all these different shops. So like there's the festival shop, there's the vacation shop, there's nights out, like whatever you want on there, they'll help you figure out an outfit for it. They have 1,200 brands. They have 100,000 styles across high-end, emerging, exclusive labels. They have Lovers and Friends, Amanda Upchurch, Norma Kamali. I mean, whatever you are doing,
those whether it's 3 of my top 3, what you just said right there. Yeah.
I know you so well.
I mean, I have been on tour and I'm touring more, and this is mostly where I get all my clothes You guys probably think I have a stylist, but it's just me on Revolve shopping through.
Most stuff comes in 2 days, depending on where you are. It is the quickest shipping I've ever dealt with. If you want to send anything back, the label is in the box. Their customer support is second to none.
The label is in the box, guys. That is so huge. They really care. People they want you to keep their stuff, not Revolve. They're like, if you don't like it, we don't want you to keep it. And I mean, everything. Like I got, when I wore to the Vegas show last year, like the wedding dress, like it was a fun, like flirty look, but I'm considering revisiting that for some bachelorette stuff. Like they just have literally, you get your wedding dress on there, but they just have everything. They have stuff to wear out every vacation you could imagine, every climate, and they have your shoes covered, your accessories, your handbags, and of course all your clothes.
And if you want help styling it for every piece that you look at, they'll give you some ideas of how to style it with jewelry, shoes, bags, things like that. So really your one-stop shop. If I could shop on one website forever, that's Revolve, hands down.
That's what we do. That free 2-day shipping. You guys, it's like, if you haven't experienced it, it will change your life forever.
It feels good. Tap into it, you guys. So for last minute getaways to party dresses and seasonal upgrades, Revolve has you covered with fast 2-day shipping and easy returns all on them. And for a limited time, you can shop a curated selection of our favorite styles at revolve.com/GGE and receive 15% off your order with code GGE. That's revolve.com/GGE to shop our top picks and get 15% off your first order with code GGE. And the offer ends August 14th, so don't miss out.
You guys, please heed our warning. Shop now. August 14th. You have 2 weeks. Okay. And so I am going to talk about tonal. I haven't really talked about this, but I am in my strength training era.
I know.
And I am in my at-home workout era, which I always have been. But I was like, I want to get in strength training workouts and I don't want to go to an hour-long class. I don't want to get in the car. I want to get this done at home.
My biggest barrier to working out is leaving the house.
Yes.
If I have to leave the house, I'm not doing it.
And some people just don't like being around other people, don't like working out in front of other people. So tonal is the ultimate strength training system for a reason. So again, like when life gets busy, workouts are often the first thing to go. So this is going to make it super easy to work out at home anytime. They provide the convenience of a full gym and the guidance of a personal trainer anytime at home with one sleek system. So I'm obsessed with this. You guys should check it out. Like it's like I always have trouble like explaining just how cool it is, but you just set it up in your home. It doesn't take up a lot of space and it is designed to reduce your mental load. So they are going to help you focus less on workout planning and more on getting results, real-time coaching cues to dial in your form and help you lift safely and effectively and any weight. So you're like, well, I'm not very strong, or you got someone else in the house that is really strong. This works for everybody, no matter what weight limit you're at. It's going to set the optimal weight for every move and adjust in 1 pound increments as you get stronger. So you're always challenged. And they're going to have, of course, these expert-led workouts from strength to their arrow hit to yoga to mobility, truly everything in one system. And again, it is something that it's not going to take up a lot of space. It essentially mounts on your wall and it has equipment that comes out. But again, it's minimal. You can put this in your apartment is my point. You don't have to have like a whole room dedicated or like a home gym, and you're going to have all the equipment that you need and the optimal weight, of course. So right now, Tonal is offering our listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code GGE. That's tonal.com and use promo code GGE for $200 off your purchase. That's tonal.com, promo code GGE for $200 off. And let's get into it with Scheana.
Okay, guys, we have a very special guest today. She has a brand new book out, which I just finished. She is the longtime star of Vanderpump Rules and the author of My Good Side. Please welcome to the show, Scheana Shay.
Hello.
Hi.
So you are on a book tour.
Yeah.
I am. I'm all over the place. I'm like, I don't know what time zone I'm in. Last night I was in Boston, but I, for a second, thought I was in Chicago and talking about a lake and not the ocean. And yeah, I'm like, where am I?
I love that. We tour too. We've toured for so many years. I'm like, what airport am I in? Like,
Right.
I have been in, like, I literally was like landed and it had to be like, you're in Denver. Like, I forgot where I
No, this is my first tour. So this is all, and this leg is 5 nights in a row, a different city every night.
Fun.
Morning flights.
Congrats.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
fun though.
So I want to say to you, I read the book cover to cover. It's great. And
Thank you.
you're really open. I mean, you share a lot of tea, a lot of background on Vanderpump and your early time in Hollywood. You're from LA. But a lot of the book early on is just about like your time on Vanderpump and different storylines and not being able to control the narrative all the time and feeling, for lack of better words, manipulated a little bit into certain things, saying things, tweeting things. How does it feel to have your own book and be able to just, all the narrative is yours?
Yeah, it feels great. This is something that I've wanted to do for a while. And finally, just, I would say putting pen to paper, but putting nails to a keyboard, I did it. And I just felt like it was time for me to take back the reins of my own story, tell it in my words with my editing control, because I've never really had that privilege in the last 13 years I've been on TV. So it felt good to just finally put it all out exactly as I wanted out.
Has the response been amazing?
I have pretty much stayed out of the comment section the last couple of weeks because I didn't want that to affect me going on tour, just seeing anything negative. So, I mean, from everyone who I've interviewed with and people who have met me at my live shows and Reddit, the response has been great. Online, couldn't tell you, but
it looks good to me.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, what we've said, it looks great.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think people just appreciate the transparency and the authenticity, and it just, you didn't hold back.
Yeah, but that's what also people have a problem with.
Oh, right. Okay.
And they're like, well why
people
is she talking about this? And I'm like, okay, but then if I didn't talk about it and then it comes out one day, then I either have to lie about it or then it's coming out again, not with my own control. So I figured I would just put it all out there because I have learned that I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. So fuck it.
So, I mean, in terms of controlling the narrative, the biggest revelation in the book, which you talked about with a lot of care and grace, I think, is that your husband had an affair. And you did not talk about this on Vanderpump Rules. And I think that it really shows your respect for your relationship and him, that you really did not want to speak about this until you were fully in charge of how it would play out.
Mm-hmm. I just didn't know what I was going to do at the time. I hadn't fully processed it. I was only thinking about my daughter. That was my main concern. If we talk about that this season, I don't know that our marriage is going to survive. I had so much anger towards him that entire season that it just would have been really bad. And then I would have had all of the outside noise and opinions. Well, you should stay for your family. You should leave for the betrayal. Like, I just didn't want any opinions. I needed to figure out for myself what I needed to do. And that was to, keep it secret until I figured it out. And once we started writing the book, it was, going to go in, then it wasn't going to go in. And we went back and forth for so many months. And the day after the book sold, there was a leak and a blind item about this potential chapter. And so, yes, that kind of forced our hand. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm writing a memoir. And how inauthentic would it be to not talk about this huge, monumental thing that happened in my life, how I overcame it, how I worked towards forgiveness? It just felt like my story would be incomplete and missing a literal chapter to leave it out.
And he encouraged you to share it all.
I want to say encouraged, but he was like,
but if you're going to share it, share the full story, I guess.
Because he was just like, hell no, not going in the book. This is a private family matter. And I'm like, okay, well, it's not your choice. You did this. But I went back and forth like, okay, let's weigh the pros, let's weigh the cons. And then once I wrote the first draft of the chapter, it was very vague. It didn't have as many details. And I read it to him out loud. And he was just like, no, that's not going in the book. And I was like, well, it might be. He goes, no, what I'm saying is if you're going to put it in the book, then say it all. He's like, this vague beating around the bush shit, like that's not going in the book. And so I was like, all right. So I went, added a ton more details, asked him if he wanted to read it before it was due. And he said, no, it's your story. I want you to tell it however you want to tell it. And I was like, are you sure? I'm about to hit send. I'm sending it in. And I did, and he did not read it until we got a physical hard copy of the book like a few weeks ago.
And how did he feel? I'm sure it sounds like he's been supportive.
I mean, it was obviously hurtful to read.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, wow, you really didn't hold back. And I don't think he realized at the time how much I was going through. And so that was really hard for him to just see it all, read it all, and have to, relive it. It's the thing with reality TV that we do. We film it and then we relive it. But with the book, we lived it. We moved past it. I forgave him, but then now we're reliving it.
Right. Wow. Well, I thank you for sharing. I love that he was like, no, share the whole story. And
Yeah,
I trust you, essentially, is what he was saying when you were like,
Yes.
I'm about to hit send.
exactly.
You're really raw, especially like the last 2 chapters of the book. You really unpack mental health and emotional wellness. And, you say, unfortunately, as a result of my rocky history of men, I no longer believe in forever. Between Shay's addiction, his lies, Brock's infidelity, I've become more weary than I probably need to be, but there's nothing I can do to change that. I mean, it's really raw to say, I've had 2 marriages now. They're not perfect. Do you feel like if you would have put this on the last season of Vanderpump, how do you think it would have affected your marriage?
I don't think our marriage would have survived. And I don't think it would have been received well by the audience. I don't think he would have had anyone on his side, And I think everyone would have said that I was trying to be Ariana, take that story, make it about me. And that was the last thing I wanted to do. I wasn't ready to process it. I just had so much going on in my head and in my heart, and I was not ready to say those words out loud, to film about it. It wasn't the right time. I needed a lot more time to process it.
Yeah. And protect your daughter. There's another person involved.
Exactly.
So we saw a headline that said that none of your friends have reached out since the book came out.
The cast.
The
of
cast.
Vanderpump.
Sorry, not your friends. Like, is that true, or what's the story there? We just saw that, so I wasn't sure.
Not everyone has posted in support of me, if that's what they mean. I mean, and that's a public thing, if you have public figures who don't post something, people are going to notice and comment on it. That has been brought up at some of my live shows. I've been so busy, as I don't even know what city I'm in. But yeah, it's been pointed out to me. They're like, oh, so-and-so didn't post. This person didn't post. And I'm like, oh, that's sad, because I've always supported them and I've always posted their endeavors. So it's unfortunate when you don't get the support from everyone, but
We've experienced that, like, it's not to make it about us, but it's one of those things. And you're just like, well, I'm going to keep doing me and thriving. And
yeah, I sent a nice, fun PR box to all of my friends, and a couple people posted.
Yeah. And you're like, well, it's been noted. Just before you published the book, I'm curious, like, did you share what had happened with Brock with the other cast members? Did Tom Sandoval know? Did Ariana know? And like, what was the response?
They didn't know. I didn't share it with them because we're not super close anymore. There were other people I shared it with more recently because I didn't want them to find out about it with the world and this excerpt coming out. But then I found out a couple of those people shared it with other people. And I'm like, this is exactly why I didn't open up about this sooner. So I'm just thankful that it didn't leak, because the whole point of me even talking about it was to have agency, was to be able to put it out in my own way. So again, that was frustrating that, I learned, okay, so I can't trust everyone who I think I can. And that was kind of a wake-up call to me. I felt like Scandival took a lot of trust from me, and then, with Brock's infidelity. But the last 2.5 years, I've spent rebuilding trust and rebuilding friendships. And so that was really disappointing to find out that a couple people told other people. I'm not going to name names.
okay.
Well, I think it's really brave, and I think it probably helped a lot of people that have been through these situations decide what to do. And I think you did the right thing for your family. It's one size fits one. Everybody responds differently to affairs. Everybody's affair is different, everybody's experience. And I think that a lot of people will just take strength from your experience.
I hope so. I mean, that's also why I wanted to put it out there, to show that, for everyone, staying after infidelity, it's not for everyone. Absolutely. Trust has been broken. I get that. But I also wanted to show that You can do it. It is possible. And it takes a lot of work. It takes strength. It takes forgiveness. It's not an easy road. I don't think leaving's an easy road, especially when you have a kid. So I think either decision that I would have made would have taken incredible strength. And I was proud of myself for being able to work towards a path of forgiveness. And I just felt like it was a story that needed to be told because it's a huge part of my story. And it's really shaped our relationship now.
Well, thank you for sharing all that. We're going to pivot a little bit. We only have a few minutes left, but we really loved just all the like hookup stories and tea and naming names. Like we couldn't get enough of it. So we just like
Name them.
I want to name
John Mayer, the phone sex, threesomes, all the things.
I think, Scheana, this is one of the funniest, most unhinged, best tea paragraphs I have ever read in my entire life. You say, you're like, I'll just talk about everyday data. Jesse Metcalf, Eddie Cibrian, John Mayer, Sherman Moore, Josh Hopkins, Shamar Moore, Shane West, Jesse McCarthy, JC Chazet, Adrian Grenier, Ricardo Chavez. I mean, there's so much. You go on
Two
NFL, NBA, MLB, and 2 actors from The Notebook. Was it the guy that played old Ryan Gosling?
I don't remember what the characters in that movie were.
I can't remember. I just know.
Yeah,
Ryan
I just
Gosling.
remember there was 2. Yeah.
Well, there was 3 because there was old man Ryan Gosling. The one.
Oh my God, the old man. Oh, that was visiting her at the nursing home. Oh God. Oh my God. But the guy from Entourage was in The Notebook, but he was also in Entourage.
I think
anyway,
we think we know who you're talking about. Okay. But it's a fun pivot in the book to talk about these like early days of living in LA and all of these celebrities. And
what did I send, Raina? I circled something. I was like, what does this mean? And you were like, I don't know. Let's ask her. So we'll ask. You can answer if you want. It says controversial phone sex with John Mayer. ChatGPT called it controversial.
I'm like, did I say it was controversial?
We looked something up in ChatGPT and it says Scheana revisits her early years, yada yada, and it says John Mayer, including controversial phone sex. So maybe
it wasn't controversial.
No, I think exactly what I said in the book is it seemed like he was really into phone sex.
Okay, got it.
Because he was into it. I mean, Scheana, you're really spicy and like sexual, and like you like bagged all these guys. Who was of all these guys? If you can give us the take, who was the most generous lover?
Ooh, out of the names in that paragraph?
Yeah.
Shamar.
Okay. Who was
Shamar Moore's so hot.
Can you tell us who was the least generous lover? Room for improvement.
Adrian.
Oh, Vinny Chase.
Who would you go back to for seconds? I know you're married. Is that bad?
I mean, yeah, I'm married, so I can't even think about that.
Okay.
Shamar.
Who would you recommend other women go to for first?
No, I would say Jesse Metcalf is an absolute doll. The fact that, I mean, I know he has a girlfriend now, but I'm like, the fact that he hasn't like been married and all of that, like I definitely saw that for him because he's a great guy.
So I guess the question is twofold in terms of Brock. Did he know all that? And
yes,
before the book?
Yes.
Okay. He had the.
Yeah, he outed me at my live podcast show like a year and a half ago about Shamar. He's like, what about that guy from SWAT? Like in front of a whole live audience, like 250 people. And I was like, what? And he's like, what was his name again? The Criminal Minds guy. And I was like, honey, that has not been public, but thank you for making it public. Now I'll put it in the book.
No, okay. I love that. I was just wondering if he read the book and was like, oh, I didn't know that one. Like, I didn't know that.
No, honestly, he probably doesn't even know who half of those names are.
Oh,
that was a good list.
Right. Yeah, he didn't even know Shamar's name. He just knew him from all of the SWAT billboards we would just drive past and laugh.
So was there ever a point where you were like, okay, like these rich famous guys are just not for me? Like, did you ever hit a point where you felt like that and were like, I'll pivot?
Well, I do go into that, which is why I started dating Colin. And that chapter kind of tells that story of just being over dating these famous guys, wanting a guy who was normal and just didn't feel good enough.
Have you heard from any of these guys that you named in the book that are like, that's what's up?
Jesse and I have been kind of not McCartney, Metcalf, I'm to specify.
Oh, right.
We've been kind of going back and forth in podcasts. Like he says something about me, I say something about him. So we haven't directly talked about it. But other than him, no, I don't think I've heard from anyone.
I mean, you didn't disparage anybody. I don't know what you would hear anything from except for Eddie Cibrian, who was having an affair with you. I mean, that's proven that he was duplicitous and lied to you. And I mean, what is he going to say?
Right.
That didn't happen.
Exactly.
Your journey in reality TV and your career is ups and downs, tumultuous. You share a lot, and we really respected you sharing your feelings throughout, just like Raina said, kind of feeling manipulated at times and kind of just bad edits and just maybe being strung along here and there. But would you do it all again? I mean, would you do it differently? I guess that's probably a loaded question.
Yeah, I would definitely do things a lot differently. I could tell you something different I do probably every season, but I would absolutely do it all again. I am thankful that I decided to do a reality show just because as much as, you see a cringe side of me and you don't always get the full story, it does still open the door to so many other opportunities and gives you the platform to speak on things like mental health and things that are important to me. So just knowing that by me sharing my story is helping other people either get a proper diagnosis or just feel less alone, I know that I'm doing the right thing and I'm on the right path.
I could not agree with you more, and I'm really happy for you. And the book is such a wealth of fun tea and behind the scenes, but a lot of mental health advice and you just being vulnerable about your story. And the best thing you can do is just share that it happened to you, and other people will find community in that.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody can find the book wherever they get their books. And do you want to talk any about the tour? Do you have dates? Like, how long is this tour running? Do you have anything else you want to plug?
We're in Cincinnati, Nashville, Philadelphia.
Nice.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. What's the website?
mygoodsidebook.com. So all of the info is there. And yeah, we might add some other dates. I don't know. I'm just going from city to city right now. I'm just tell me where I need to be, where I need to check in. I'll be there.
Okay. Well, you guys can buy the book, check out her podcast, Shenanigans. Scheana, we have loved having you.
Yeah,
thank you for your honesty.
Yes.
And taking the time. You're really
Thank
busy.
you so much for having me. This was fun.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Okay, we hope you guys enjoyed that. We are just going to talk about our remaining partners and then do our headlines and send you on your way. I am so excited to talk about Cake's Body. I've recently gotten into this brand and I am so obsessed with it. I posted it on my Instagram story because they are adhesive nipple covers and they offer a bunch of different boob solutions for all women and for all breast sizes. But I've just always been a free the nip kind of girly, but sometimes you just can't have the nip out. That's not the vibe, or
People's husbands are around.
Professional setting. I actually don't like it on stage. So I had a top that I wanted to wear on stage, and I was I don't want to wear a bra with it. It was this teeny tiny lime green top, and I was but I just don't need my nipples out all night. It can be a little distracting, and that's not the vibe. So I used these. Obviously, they covered my nipples, but I also felt like they gave my breasts more shape.
So I was really surprised when you told me you were wearing them because you're wearing a very thin tank top, and my opposition to wearing these is you can always see the outline of the nipple cover, and I couldn't believe that you were wearing a nipple color.
They make your boobs, whatever. I have smaller breasts, but they make them look better.
Yeah, they look
and there's
great.
no bra. I am so obsessed. The packaging is gorgeous, and they come with these little plastic inserts that you're able to store them after you do wash them and reuse them. Again, they have different solutions, but I've been using the sticky ones. Cake's Body was founded by twin sisters Taylor and Casey in 2022. We love their backstory. They launched the company with $10,000, no social media, and a single Instagram post, and prayed their mom and their friends might buy cakes. They went super viral. I just love their story, the backstory. The company has donated over $1 million to women's health causes and recently went viral for announcing the Cake's childcare credit, fully funded childcare for all their employees. The company is incredible. And again, they have perfected the perfect adhesive nipple covers by designing the first sticky, not icky solutions. So again, they have different solutions if you want the grippy or the sticky. And for there's size for your boobs. So it's like Rain and I aren't going to use the same size. So you choose which side you need. Adhesive-free nip nook in the center to protect the sensitive nipple area so you get secure coverage without ripping your nips off. The part that goes in your nipple is not sticky. So you're not like pulling a Band-Aid off like the most sensitive part of your body. A dermatologist tested and approved, safe for sensitive skin. And we're just obsessed. Like we really, really love it. And we love the company and everything they stand for. And again, if you have been like me and you're like, I don't really get it, I don't think I'm a nipple cover girly, trust me that you are. So to check out the product for yourself, go to cakesbody.com. You can even use code GGE for 20% off your first order this summer. So cakesbody.com, code GGE for 20% off.
So maybe you have like a side hustle or just like a summer passion and you're looking to start a business and you don't know how to do that. Shopify is really the best place to start and grow a business just like ours. Ashley and I have run Vibes Only on Shopify for years. I find it so phenomenal. It has every bell and whistle you could ever want. Their analytics are fantastic. They can help you build an actual website. They have tons of different templates and they have all kinds of different plugins to optimize your website. It's a commerce platform that has not only made it so easy for us to start a business, but run our business, and it's allowed us to scale it and keep tabs on things. I love the app. I check it all the time on my phone to see what we're selling, how much we're selling. I mean, they just make it so easy to start a business, track it, look at your progress, the analytics, and then build a website that looks beautiful. I mean, literally every template you could ever imagine. So check it out. Can't recommend it enough. Again, Ashley and I have run both of our businesses off of this for many, many years.
Couldn't live without it.
Couldn't live without it. So
we don't know what other people are using.
So if you're ready to build your own empire, whether it's merch or products or the next best idea, get on shopify.com/GGE and make it happen.
Okay, and we just have a few headlines for you guys.
Okay, there's one that happened like a few minutes ago. I just have to tell you about it.
What?
So Katy Perry is rumored to be dating Justin Trudeau.
What?
This was not on my bingo card. They were photographed out at dinner together. You just don't see like politician pop star.
No.
Ever. Isn't that an interesting match?
That is. I don't even know what to say about it.
She's I know I sprung this on you, but
Yeah.
she's like an American girly. I thought maybe she's Canadian. No. But like, you just don't see it. He's separated from his wife. I think his ex-wife now, obviously. It's an interesting match.
What a weird year for her. Just going to space. Now she's
an astronaut, and now she's a politician's
steal your girl.
Anyway,
what in the world?
That's a crazy headline that I just saw a few minutes ago. I had to tell you about.
And then the tour and the people. I need a documentary on Katy Perry's 2025.
I know.
Okay,
She's got range.
Uh-huh.
She has range.
She has range. Okay, E-News is canceled. What end of an era?
34 years
Wow.
on the air. I mean, that
is a
show
real
like
bummer.
raised me when I was a
Yeah.
kid. I used to like really look when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Literally when I was a kid. I really looked forward to watching it. Mm-hmm. And I loved Juliana Rancic and Kat Sadler.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
just,
it
like, all
launched
the people
people's
on it.
careers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was sad to see.
So they say that they're committed to keeping their online brand.
Okay.
It's still going to be an Instagram and a website. You can get all your news there, but it does feel like an end of an era. And it's almost like, okay, like one of you,
It's almost like people aren't watching TV.
right. But like
Cable TV.
I get upset and then I'm like, oh, I'm the problem. Like it's like when a restaurant that you love closes and you're like, I love it so much. And people are like, when was the last time you went? And it's like 5 years ago was the last time I went.
Right.
Like E-News, I loved E-News. When was the last time I watched it on television?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
5 years ago? 10 years ago?
I don't think I've ever claimed to be like a real hardcore viewer of the show, but I would watch it for red carpet.
Uh-huh.
So
I'm like I
I would watch E for red carpet. That's not E-News, right? It's a different thing.
Yeah, but it's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same people.
Yeah.
I'm such like a pop news kind of girly reality star
Yeah.
news. So end of an era.
So Chriselle Staus of Selling Sunset marries G Flip for a third time in medieval themed wedding.
Okay, so I saw that they got married, and I was like, "What is happening here?" Because like I'm like, I swear to God, they have been married. And
Well,
so
the third time.
here's the tea: they get married once a year.
They do?
That's their thing. They get married every year.
Good
They
for
got
them.
married 2 Julys ago, and last July, and this July. And because I was like, why do I feel like they just keep getting married? And
They
I
love to get
this.
married. I mean, I don't know. As someone who's planning a wedding, it couldn't be me. But good for them if they can do it and they're able to handle it. They have the time and the energy.
And
good
the
for
money.
them.
That is so funny. I didn't really think about the energy that goes into planning a
Yeah,
wedding. I was
it's a
like, that's
lot.
cool to
Yeah.
celebrate every year like it's a birthday party.
I mean, you don't have to do it all out every time. One thing I want to throw in, and then we'll end with a bang, is Carrie and Aidan broke up on And Just Like That, and
Third time.
I did not watch it. I've considered watching this episode. People told me it was a really good episode. I'm committed. I don't want to watch it. I have not watched it since I said I quit. But anyway, they did break up, so they subjected us to the truck phone sex.
Just as I was healing.
Like, right. Like, why did they even bring Aidan into the mix? It's just to torture us?
Couldn't you guys have just gotten somebody else? Like, can't we just have like a new love interest? People aren't dynamic. They don't evolve.
I guess she does have a new love interest. I don't know. Again, I'm just basing off the memes. And then the Cowboy Carter tour. So Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour ended in Vegas last weekend. Highest grossing country tour ever. The racists are furious.
Really crazy.
Highest grossing country tour by Beyonce.
I guess
I love to see it.
Every week we have to talk about whether I understand stadium sizes and who can sell what. I mean, when I think I'm like bigger than Morgan Wallen, bigger than Zach Bryan, but like she is a stadium artist.
Stadium, different than arena.
Yeah.
I would have guessed Garth Brooks.
Oh yeah.
But whatever, she's the biggest.
That's pretty. He is the number one selling concert artist, I think, in the world.
Well,
don't check us
not
on
anymore.
That, but she has dethroned him. That's in country, but that's crazy.
And then Destiny's Child reunited at the end of the show. Like, oh my God, Raina. But I will say the amount of times my fiance has woken up to me gasping about Beyonce is like more than I can count on two hands. Like, I woke up, I opened my phone, first thing I saw was Destiny's Child closing out the Vegas show, losing my mind. So she also had Jay-Z and Shabuzi. I mean, it was the last show of the tour, what'd you expect? But to have Michelle and Kelly, Michelle did struggle with those steps a little bit.
I was wondering if you noticed that, but everybody noticed,
but
right?
Michelle always struggles to get the beat a little bit.
She?
Yes, it's her
That's her
thing.
thing?
She's queen of the bridge, and you gotta love her, but she's not as tight. But I could not strut down steps on beat, not looking down.
Well, they rehearsed.
I'm just saying, like, she hasn't been in the game, right?
Totally.
Like, it's like I couldn't do it, so I'm not knocking it, but she did. She was not as smooth as Beyonce and Kelly.
For her, because I was like, people are gonna like really see this. I am so bitter about this show because I wanted to go, and then I was like, no. And I did see like the most important show you can see, which is Travis and Taylor in London. So I got my like one thing, but I am so sad I didn't go to this. What an iconic moment! I'll just never get to
I mean,
relive.
unbelievable. Like, it's just. You love to see it, and they all looked great. They all looked phenomenal, and even Michelle, you know, those steps almost took her out, but she went with it, and I just love to see it. So thank you, Beyonce, for doing that.
We'll see you at the next concert.
At the biggest country tour in history.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we hope you guys enjoyed the snack and the interview. You guys can find us at girlsgottaeat.com. See us in Denver this weekend. I'll be there. We're going to be at Denver Comedy Works, ashhess.com for tickets if there are any left, and Girls Gotta Eat podcast on Instagram and TikTok. Subscribe on YouTube. Vibes only. Shop the sale today only. 20% off everything. And we will see you Monday.
Yes, you guys, shop our biggest sale of the year. Enjoy those orgasms. We can't wait to get them to you, and have a great weekend.
Bye.